This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. This is, I don't know. Sucks always talking about death and wrestling. Let's talk about something fun. Owen says, how much or how often would Andre intake food daily? We've all heard the famous stories of his drinking habits, but I have never really heard any crazy eating stories, but I'm sure there are plenty.
You know, when Andre would sit down to, so for example, at the place in Greenwich, it wasn't, he did eat quantity, I guess, when you really think about it. Andre ate a lot of food, but he was also a superhuman sized man. But I don't know that it was a grotesque amount. But when he ate big. Yeah. Andre liked his food and would definitely eat a whole lot of it when it was time. But I don't know that he ate all day and didn't eat shit really.
Did you ever travel with Andre?
No, just on a plane, but never traveled with Andre in the car. Andre had a special van, like those old school, I forget what the fuck they called them, but it had big captain's chairs in the back and everything. So they had a specially made big captain's chair for Andre in the back. And Timmy White and Arnie Skolin and Pat and a lot of different guys would travel with them. They'd play cards in the back and just chill out. So it was pretty easy for him. I don't know if I've ever told the story on here, but it was, Andre he could only fly first class. And if he had to fly on planes that didn't have any first class, he always had to sit in that front bulkhead row and take three seats. Just because he was so damn big. But one day Andre was getting onto the plane in first class, and he's kind of messing with the divider in between the two seats there. And the flight attendant came by and said, "Can I get you anything?" And he said, "Screwdriver." Andre gets into his seat and settling down, and flight attendant is coming, handing out drinks to everybody, and she hands Andre a Phillips head screwdriver. And Andre takes the screwdriver and says, "What's this?" He says, "Well, you said you needed a screwdriver." And Andre thinks for a minute. He says, "What would you bring me if I ask you for Bloody Mary?" Yep.
Stuart Walter, my apologies, says, what was Andre's favorite dish? I know this question comes to us because we've talked about Yokozuna's turkey tails or turkey ass or whatever you call it. What about Andre? We've heard that he liked the French restaurant, but what was his favorite dish?
It fucking, pretty much anything French. A lot of the, like the French use a lot of liver and gizzards and shit like that. Internal organs. Andre loved that shit. Very much so.
Didn't know what to expect there. Ace wants to know, do you think Andre knew how
inside innards or gizzards or what?
I just wouldn't have called that, he was a big Chitlins fan.
Tastes like shit.
Ace, here's one you can probably have fun with. This comes to us from Nick the Norseman. Shout out to Nick, friend of the show. Did he have any good pickup lines?
Want to fuck?
Oh God.
Hey man, when you're 7'4" and 500 pounds and look like Andre, I mean, do you really need a pickup line?
We did get lots of questions like that.
Want to see it?
Want to feed it a peanut?
Yeah.
Sean says, we've all heard the stories of Flair and Wilt Chamberlain having a lot of fun with the ladies. Any stories of the ladies going one-on-one with the eighth wonder of the world? Owen wanted to know, town to town, day by day, how was Andre with the women? We got inundated with Andre the ladies man questions. Do you have anything you can share with us?
As far as I know, Andre was quite the ladies man, and he always seemed to, I never saw him with a very large woman. What I mean by that is not large, but I never saw him with a tall woman. It was usually very dainty and very small, which just kind of led the imagination to run wild and go crazy a little bit.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.